In a world filled with chaos and unpredictability, many search for a way to find tranquility and purpose. It's here that we turn to Stoic philosophy, an ancient school of thought rooted in the teachings of Greek philosophers like Zeno of Citium, Seneca, and Marcus Aurelius. But what is Stoicism, and how can it guide us in modern life? Stoicism began in Athens around the early 3rd century BC. Its core tenets center around virtue as the highest good and the importance of living in harmony with nature. Stoics believe that the path to happiness lies in accepting what we cannot change and focusing on our own responses to external events. This perspective encourages individuals to cultivate inner peace through self-control, rational thinking, and resilience. Historically, Stoicism was embraced by numerous influential figures, not just philosophers, but rulers, soldiers, and common people seeking clarity in their tumultuous lives. Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor, is perhaps the most famous Stoic. His personal writings, known as Meditations, offer a glimpse into the mind of a leader who confronted the harsh realities of life while maintaining a Stoic demeanor. One striking quote from Aurelius states, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." This encapsulates the essence of Stoicism, focusing on our internal responses rather than being swayed by external circumstances. In our fast-paced modern world, where emotions can be heightened by social media and constant connectivity, Stoic techniques offer strategies to regain control of our emotional landscape. Now, let's explore some foundational principles of Stoicism that can be applied today. The first is the dichotomy of control. Stoics teach us to differentiate between what we can control and what we cannot. Stress, anxiety, and frustration often arise from clinging to control over the uncontrollable. Consider a personal story of a successful entrepreneur, Jane, who faced a devastating business failure. Instead of wallowing in regret, Jane embraced the Stoic practice of focusing on what was within her control, her reaction, her lessons learned, and her plans moving forward. As a result, Jane emerged stronger and more resilient, ultimately leading her next venture to unparalleled success. The second principle is the idea of negative visualization. This technique involves contemplating the worst-case scenario to appreciate what one currently possesses. It reminds us that life is fleeting, prompting gratitude for our relationships, health, and opportunities. Think about the last time you took a moment to reflect. How did that perspective shift your mindset? Moreover, Stoicism encourages us to practice mindfulness, being present in the moment. By tuning into our thoughts and feelings, we create space for rational decision-making rather than reactive impulses. This brings us to another key tenet, living in accordance with nature. Stoics believed that by connecting with our true nature and purpose, we find peace and alignment in our lives. As we conclude this chapter, let us ponder, how can we integrate these Stoic principles into our daily routines? The journey of exploration into Stoicism is just beginning, and the answers may surprise us. Resilience, the capacity to recover quickly from difficulties, is a concept often spoken about today. Yet, long before it became a buzzword in psychology and self-help, Stoic philosophers championed resilience as a central theme in their teachings. In fact, resilience is the very backbone of Stoic philosophy. Let's delve deeper into the Stoic understanding of adversity. The philosopher Epictetus, who faced significant hardships, once said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." This mindset is crucial for navigating the inevitable challenges life throws our way. Consider the story of Viktor Frankl, a Holocaust survivor and psychiatrist. In his book Man's Search for Meaning, he illustrates how the psychological resilience found within the teachings of Stoicism played a significant role in his survival. Frankl maintained his sense of purpose amidst the horrors of concentration camps, embodying the Stoic belief that even in suffering, we have the power to choose our responses. His experiences reflect the Stoic idea that suffering can lead to personal growth. By embracing adversity, we can cultivate empathy and compassion, transforming our struggles into lessons. How can we apply this in our lives? For instance, when faced with a setback, be it a job loss, a relationship ending, or health issues, doing a personal inventory can help us focus on what we can learn from the experience. Moreover, Stoicism encourages us to embrace discomfort as a tool for growth. In this context, practicing discomfort, whether through physical challenges like cold showers or mental exercises, can build resilience. These practices remind us to accept discomfort rather than shy away from it. In contemporary life, whether through emotional upheaval or chaotic environments, Stoics advise us to implement daily practices that enhance our resilience. Mindfulness, meditation, and journaling are essential tools that allow us to process experiences meaningfully. A study conducted by the University of Pennsylvania found that individuals who maintain a consistent journaling practice report higher emotional resilience and well-being. Journaling helps us reflect, combat negative thoughts, and reinforce a Stoic mindset. We can also incorporate reframing techniques to interpret situations differently, emphasizing growth rather than loss. As we move towards the conclusion of this chapter, let us consider how challenges shape our character. Stoicism invites us to view adversity not as a hindrance but as a catalyst for growth that helps us become our best selves. How will you reframe your challenges moving forward? In our pursuit of happiness, we often grapple with the idea of attachment. Human beings are naturally inclined to form connections with people, objects, and experiences, but what happens when those attachments turn into burdens? This chapter explores the Stoic art of letting go, an essential practice for emotional freedom. Let's begin with the story of a young man named David, who struggled to move on after a painful breakup. He clung tightly to the memories, replaying every moment in his mind. But as he delved into the teachings of Stoicism, he learned about the importance of accepting impermanence. Marcus Aurelius advised, "Lose not yourself in the crowd." This means recognizing that our identity should not be defined by external factors or past relationships. The Stoics believe that attachment is a double-edged sword. On one hand, it brings joy, on the other, it can lead to suffering. By understanding that nothing is permanent, Stoics encourage us to cherish experiences without becoming overly attached. This mindset liberates us from the constraints of clinging to what we cannot hold on to. In modern psychology, the notion of letting go aligns with acceptance and commitment therapy. This therapeutic approach focuses on accepting thoughts and feelings without judgment, allowing individuals to make choices based on their values instead of their past. Through this lens, we see that Stoic principles of letting go are not merely about relinquishing attachments but embodying emotional resilience. Through the practice of mindfulness, we can learn to observe our thoughts and feelings without getting entangled in them. One effective technique is the practice of premeditatio malorum, contemplating the potential misfortunes that could occur. This prepares us for loss and helps us appreciate what we have without clinging too tightly. A compelling example of this is the practice of gratitude. By recognizing the transient beauty of life and the people we cherish, we can enjoy moments without the fear of losing them. Studies show that practicing gratitude increases our overall well-being and reduces anxiety. As we delve deeper into letting go, it's crucial to highlight the significance of self-reflection. Consider keeping a personal reflection journal where you can explore attachments that may no longer serve you. This practice not only elucidates your thoughts but also guides you toward freedom from emotional burdens. So how do we begin this journey of letting go? The first step is acknowledging our attachments and understanding their impact on our mental health and happiness. By embracing the Stoic principle of impermanence, you are on the path to emotional liberation. What might you choose to release in your life that no longer serves you? Have you ever faced a situation that made you question everything? In times of uncertainty or turmoil, perspective can shift our understanding of reality. Stoic philosophy teaches us that perspective is like a lens through which we view the world, a lens that can be adjusted to reveal deeper truths. Let's explore how a change in perspective can influence our emotions and decisions. The Stoics believed in the concept of cognitive reframing, a powerful tool to alter our interpretations and responses to experiences. For example, when faced with a job loss, instead of viewing it as a failure, one could reframe it as an opportunity for growth or a chance to pursue one's passion. This shift in mindset is not just theoretical, it has practical implications for our emotional health. A case study involving athletes illustrates the impact of perspective on performance. Research conducted by psychologists found that athletes who adopted a growth mindset, believing they could improve their abilities through effort, outperformed those who saw their abilities as fixed. This reinforces the Stoic idea that perspective shapes our reality and, ultimately, our success. But how can we cultivate this mindset in everyday life? One effective technique is the daily practice of gratitude. Taking time to acknowledge what we are thankful for can radically shift our perspective from scarcity to abundance. Imagine starting your day by reflecting on 3 things you appreciate. This minimal practice can foster positivity and resilience. Moreover, the practice of mindfulness involves observing our thoughts without judgment, allowing us to distance ourselves from negative patterns. This skill empowers us to choose how we respond to situations, aligning our actions with our values instead of being swayed by emotions. Let us revisit a historical figure, Seneca, who endured exile and personal loss. Rather than succumbing to despair, he focused on his writing and wisdom. Seneca famously stated, "A gem cannot be polished without friction, nor a man perfected without trials." This illustrates the Stoic belief that obstacles are not merely hindrances but opportunities for growth. As we approach the end of this chapter, consider how a shift in perspective can empower you to navigate challenges. Reflect on a recent setback. How might you reframe that experience to unlock its potential for growth? As we continue our journey into the heart of Stoicism, it becomes clear that this philosophy offers practical tools for enhancing our daily lives. The term toolbox describes the various exercises and techniques you can adopt to embody Stoic principles and lead a more fulfilling life. Firstly, let's explore the practice of journaling as a fundamental tool. The Stoics advocated for self-reflection as a means to evaluate one's thoughts and actions regularly. By maintaining a daily journal, you can analyze your emotional responses and cultivate a deeper understanding of your values. This practice aligns with a modern psychological technique called cognitive behavioral therapy, which encourages individuals to write down negative thoughts and actively challenge them. An individual named Sarah found solace in journaling after facing anxiety. By documenting her thoughts, she identified patterns that contributed to her stress. This simple practice became a lifeline to clarity and perspective. Another critical tool is the practice of mindfulness meditation. By training our minds to stay present, we gain the ability to separate ourselves from overwhelming emotions. Research conducted by the Harvard Medical School showed that mindfulness meditation reduces stress and enhances emotional regulation. Imagine taking just 5 minutes a day to breathe deeply and observe your thoughts without resistance. This investment in mindfulness can yield significant benefits over time, fostering emotional resilience and a greater sense of peace. Next, we delve into the concept of reframing negative thoughts. When faced with difficulties, a Stoic approach would encourage you to think about how you can view challenges differently. Consider the power of perspective as a tool. Cognitive reframing involves identifying and changing negative thought patterns to cultivate a more optimistic outlook. For instance, a colleague of mine struggled with a project at work. Instead of viewing it as a failure, he reframed it as an opportunity to learn and improve. This shift in mindset transformed his experience and encouraged him to approach future tasks with confidence. Finally, let's discuss the importance of community and mentorship in building a Stoic toolbox. Engaging with others who share Stoic values can provide support, motivation, and new perspectives. Surrounding yourself with like-minded individuals fosters growth and accountability, vital in a Stoic journey. As we draw this chapter to a close, reflect on the tools you've picked up from Stoicism. How will you implement them into your life moving forward? Your journey toward a more meaningful existence is just beginning, and the Stoic toolbox awaits your exploration. In a world where distractions relentlessly compete for our attention, embracing the present moment has become paramount. Stoic philosophers like Marcus Aurelius emphasized that our thoughts should anchor us in the present, for it is the only time we possess. When we dwell on the past or obsess over the future, we rob ourselves of the opportunity to appreciate life as it unfolds. Imagine a busy street, filled with people glued to their smartphones, missing the beauty in their surroundings. This represents a common scenario today, where the art of presence is lost. A study published in Psychological Science revealed that the average person spends about 46.9% of their waking hours lost in thought, often disengaged from the reality around them. This disconnection can lead to anxiety and unhappiness. But the Stoics offer us wisdom. Presence leads to gratitude. By appreciating the now, we can acknowledge the beauty in our daily experiences. Consider Viktor Frankl, a Holocaust survivor who found meaning in the darkest of circumstances. His work, Man's Search for Meaning, illustrates how even in suffering, one can find purpose by focusing on the present moment. Frankl's message resonates with the Stoic principle: we cannot control external events, but we can control our responses. Additionally, practices like mindfulness meditation align closely with Stoic teachings. Research shows that mindfulness can reduce stress, enhance emotional regulation, and improve overall mental health. A comprehensive study by the American Psychological Association indicated that mindfulness practices can lead to a decrease in symptoms of anxiety and depression by up to 60%. As we strive to embrace the present, we must also learn to navigate distractions. The Stoics believed in focusing on what matters most, and this is especially relevant today. Here, technology can be both a blessing and a curse. Social media, for instance, provides a constant influx of information. Yet, a 2018 study revealed that high social media use correlates with increased feelings of loneliness and dissatisfaction. To combat this, the Stoic practice of premeditatio malorum, the premeditation of evils, encourages us to visualize potential distractions and their impacts on our lives. This mental exercise prepares us for troubling situations, helping us maintain focus on the present. Imagine starting your day by asking yourself, what distractions might arise today, and how will I respond? This proactive approach enhances our ability to control our reactions and stay present. Furthermore, the profound act of gratitude serves as a bridge to the present. Studies show that practicing gratitude can significantly increase happiness and reduce stress levels. A journal dedicated to daily gratitude can remind us of the simple joys often overlooked. Regularly acknowledging the positives in our lives aligns perfectly with Stoic thought, reinforcing the idea that our responses shape our experience. So, how can we incorporate these lessons into our daily routine? Start by setting aside moments each day to unplug, reflecting on your surroundings. Engaging in activities that bring joy, whether it's a walk in nature or a conversation with a loved one, can anchor us firmly in the present. As we cultivate this habit, we unlock the real power of Stoicism, the ability to thrive in the present, regardless of the chaos around us. In embracing the present, we lay the foundation for a fulfilling life, one where anxiety diminishes and joy flourishes. But what happens when the challenges mount? How do we apply Stoicism when it feels like everything is falling apart? That leads us to our next chapter, obtaining strength through community and connection. As we navigate the complexities of modern life, the Stoics remind us of the vital role that community plays in our existence. Stoicism is not merely an individual pursuit, it emphasizes the interconnectedness of all human beings. From Marcus Aurelius to Seneca, Stoic thinkers valued community, often asserting that we are social creatures designed for connection. In the present day, loneliness is an epidemic. A 2020 survey by Cigna reported that nearly 61% of Americans feel lonely, and this sense of isolation has severe health consequences, akin to smoking 15 cigarettes a day. This stark reality begs the question: how can Stoicism guide us in finding strength through community? One of the key principles of Stoic philosophy is the idea of sympathia, which asserts that all human beings are part of a larger whole. Recognizing this shared experience fosters empathy and compassion, essential ingredients for strengthening our connections. We can take practical steps to cultivate such relationships in our lives by seeking communal activities or engaging in conversations that deepen our understanding of others. Consider the story of Bill Wilson, the co-founder of Alcoholics Anonymous. Faced with his struggles, Wilson recognized that isolation exacerbated addiction. By creating a community based on mutual support and shared experiences, he transformed not only his life but countless others. This illustrates how Stoic principles, particularly the emphasis on community and connection, can offer strength during our most challenging times. Moreover, connecting with like-minded individuals can bolster our resilience. Research published in the Journal of Happiness Studies suggests that social connections significantly contribute to overall life satisfaction. Those who actively participate in community activities report higher levels of happiness than those who isolate themselves. Hence, building a network of support can serve as a buffer against life's adversities. To integrate this into modern life, consider the power of mentorship. Engaging with mentors or becoming one can create bridges of understanding and support. A 2017 study found that mentoring relationships have profound effects, with ments showing increased job satisfaction and a greater sense of belonging. This aligns with Stoic teachings on the importance of learning from others and sharing wisdom, showcasing how community fosters growth. Additionally, the act of volunteering or contributing to a cause amplifies our connections to others. The do good, feel good principle reflects that helping others enhances our well-being. Research shows that volunteering can lower feelings of depression and increase happiness levels. Through community service, we not only aid others but also strengthen our social bonds, reinforcing the Stoic belief that we thrive when we contribute. However, forming connections might be challenging in a world filled with virtual interactions. The Stoics would advise us to prioritize quality over quantity in our relationships. Meaningful conversations, those that delve into our fears, aspirations, and vulnerabilities, forge stronger connections than superficial exchanges ever could. Ultimately, understanding that we are part of a larger community helps us face life's uncertainties. It reminds us that we are not alone in our struggles. As we cultivate these connections, we prepare ourselves for the inevitable challenges ahead. But what happens when we confront personal limitations, and how can Stoicism guide us in overcoming them? Our journey leads us to the next chapter, accepting our limitations and embracing personal growth. In our quest for self-betterment, we often encounter the harsh reality of our limitations. Stoic philosophy teaches us that acceptance is the first step toward authentic growth. Recognizing and acknowledging our boundaries does not signify weakness, rather, it reflects wisdom and strength. Through acceptance, we unlock the potential for true transformation. Let's consider the story of the late Stephen Hawking. Despite being diagnosed with ALS, which left him nearly paralyzed, Hawking rejected the notion of limitation. Instead of yielding to despair, he embraced his condition, achieving groundbreaking work that reshaped our understanding of the universe. His journey exemplifies the Stoic sentiment that we can cultivate strength from our limitations. The first principle of this Stoic acceptance is understanding that we cannot control everything. The dichotomy of control is at the core of Stoic thought, emphasizing the distinction between what is within our power and what is not. A 2019 study published in the Journal of Clinical Psychology highlighted that individuals who practiced acceptance of their circumstances reported lower stress and anxiety levels. By focusing on our strengths and actions rather than external factors, we can find peace even in challenging situations. Furthermore, embracing limitations also opens the door to personal growth. The Stoics believed in the importance of continuous improvement, of transforming challenges into opportunities for learning. Take the example of J.K. Rowling, who faced numerous rejections before Harry Potter became a worldwide phenomenon. Her perseverance reflects the Stoic principle of resilience in the face of adversity, as she harnessed her limitations to fuel her creativity. Her success story serves as a reminder that our perceived limitations can serve as catalysts for our greatest achievements. To embrace limitations effectively, we can adopt a growth mindset, a concept popularized by psychologist Carol Dweck. This mindset encourages us to view challenges as opportunities for improvement rather than insurmountable barriers. Research indicates that individuals with a growth mindset are more likely to achieve their goals and overcome setbacks. In practical terms, this means integrating strategies that promote self-reflection. Consider starting a journaling practice, focusing on your experiences and what they teach you. This reflection helps you identify areas for growth and recognize that limitations can lead to new paths and insights. A 2018 meta-analysis revealed that expressive writing significantly boosts self-awareness, emotional regulation, and overall well-being. Moreover, a vital aspect of Stoic acceptance is the power of reframing. By adjusting our perspective on limitations, we can transform obstacles into stepping stones for growth. For instance, if you face a setback in your career, instead of viewing it as a failure, see it as an opportunity to reassess your goals and approach. This shift in mindset aligns perfectly with the Stoic principle of focusing on our responses. As we embrace our limitations, we develop resilience, the ability to bounce back from difficulties. This resilience becomes our greatest ally in the journey of self-improvement. However, the path of personal growth is often fraught with emotional turmoil. How do we cultivate emotional resilience and navigate the intricacies of our feelings? This leads us to our next chapter, Mastering Emotional Resilience through Stoicism. As we continue our exploration of Stoicism's relevance in modern life, we arrive at a crucial topic: emotional resilience. The ability to navigate our emotions effectively is essential for personal growth and well-being. Stoic philosophers understood that emotions could be powerful forces, either guiding us toward clarity or steering us into chaos. Epictetus, a prominent Stoic philosopher, believed that while we cannot control external events, we can control our emotional responses. This principle is particularly significant today, as mental health issues are on the rise. According to the World Health Organization, over 264 million people worldwide suffer from depression, making emotional resilience more critical than ever. By mastering our emotions, we can address our mental well-being more holistically. One of the key strategies Stoics employed to cultivate emotional resilience is the practice of cognitive reframing. This involves altering our perspective on events to see them in a more constructive light. For instance, instead of viewing a criticism as a personal attack, we can reframe it as an opportunity for growth. Studies indicate that cognitive reframing decreases negative emotional responses, leading to improved psychological health. A meta-analysis found that participants engaged in cognitive restructuring reported lower anxiety levels and greater emotional stability. The story of Oprah Winfrey exemplifies the power of reframing. Born into poverty and facing numerous challenges, Oprah transformed her adversity into a platform for empowerment and inspiration. Her journey illustrates how reframing our narrative can lead to remarkable emotional resilience, enabling us to inspire others. Another essential concept in mastering emotional resilience is the practice of mindfulness. Mindfulness, often associated with Stoicism, encourages us to observe our thoughts and feelings without judgment. Research has shown that mindfulness practices can reduce emotional distress and promote resilience. A comprehensive study indicated that individuals who practiced mindfulness techniques reported a 30% decrease in emotional reactivity, enhancing their ability to manage stress. To incorporate mindfulness into our lives, consider setting aside time each day to reflect on your emotions. Practice acknowledging your feelings without judgment, allowing them to surface and validating your experience. This aligns beautifully with the Stoic principle of awareness. Being mindful of our thoughts and emotions empowers us to make intentional choices in response. Another powerful technique for building emotional resilience is developing a negative visualization practice, derived from Stoic philosophy. This involves contemplating the worst-case scenario regarding aspects of our lives, helping us appreciate what we have while reducing the sting of potential loss. Research shows that this practice can significantly enhance emotional well-being, allowing us to embrace the present more fully. As we master our emotional responses, we also enhance our relationships with others. By cultivating empathy and understanding, we foster deeper connections. A study conducted by the University of California found that individuals who practiced emotional intelligence reported stronger relationships and overall life satisfaction. The Stoics would remind us that our ability to connect profoundly shapes our experiences and enriches our lives. By developing emotional resilience, we become equipped to face life's trials with grace and composure. Yet, as we work toward fostering this resilience, we must also be aware of the importance of purpose and meaning in our lives. This leads us to our final chapter, the transformative power of purpose and meaning through Stoicism. As we approach the conclusion of our exploration into Stoic philosophy, we find ourselves face to face with an essential aspect of human existence, the quest for purpose and meaning. Stoicism teaches us that aligning our actions with our values can lead to a fulfilling life. The pursuit of purpose fuels our resilience and provides a guiding star in tumultuous times. Psychologist Viktor Frankl, whose work we've mentioned, famously stated, "Life is never made unbearable by circumstances, but only by lack of meaning and purpose." His experience in concentration camps illustrated that those with a sense of purpose were more likely to survive and find dignity in their suffering. Frankl's wisdom reminds us that meaning gives life its richness, allowing us to endure life's adversities. A growing body of research supports the connection between purpose and well-being. A longitudinal study conducted by the University of Michigan found that individuals with a strong sense of purpose reported lower rates of depression and greater overall life satisfaction. This connection underscores the Stoic belief that we are not just passive observers in life, we are active participants in crafting our destinies. To cultivate a sense of purpose, we can draw from our values and beliefs. Start by reflecting on what truly resonates with you. What principles do you hold dear, and how can they guide your actions? This process of introspection is key to aligning your daily life with your core values. A study published in the Journal of Happiness Studies found that individuals who engaged in value-based activities experienced higher levels of happiness. Another practical approach is to set meaningful goals. Stoics believed in the importance of setting intentions and striving toward them, regardless of the outcome. This aligns perfectly with modern psychology, which emphasizes the concept of goal setting for personal fulfillment. Research shows that individuals who set specific, measurable goals are more likely to achieve them and derive satisfaction from their accomplishments. Moreover, engaging in activities that benefit others enhances our sense of purpose. Volunteering, mentorship, or simply acts of kindness can provide profound fulfillment and connect us to the larger community. A meta-analysis of studies on altruism found that helping others can lead to an increase in personal happiness and a sense of belonging. As we integrate these practices into our lives, we must also remember the Stoic principle of focusing on our responses to events. Life will inevitably present challenges, but by centering our purpose, we can navigate these difficulties with integrity and resilience. We are reminded that purpose-driven living allows us to transcend adversity and emerge stronger. Finally, let us reflect on the Stoic view that our legacy is built on the impact we have on others. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "What we do now echoes in eternity." This perspective invites us to consider how we want to be remembered and the values we want to leave behind. By living a purpose-driven life, we create ripples that extend beyond our immediate sphere, influencing future generations and inspiring others to follow their paths. As we conclude our exploration of Stoicism, we recognize that the path to self-improvement is not linear. It is a journey filled with trials, growth, and profound insights. The principles of Stoic philosophy offer us a roadmap, one that guides us toward resilience, acceptance, emotional mastery, and purpose. In embracing these teachings, we can navigate the complexities of modern life with clarity, compassion, and strength. As we step forward, let us remember that Stoicism is not merely an ancient philosophy, it is a living practice that has the power to transform our lives today and for generations to come. In an age filled with constant distractions and noise, the quest for inner peace can often feel elusive. Yet, the Stoics had a profound understanding of tranquility that modern life can greatly benefit from. Imagine a world where challenges are met with calmness rather than chaos, where stressors lose their grip on your well-being. This is the essence of what Stoic philosophy offers. Inner peace, for the Stoics, was not about suppressing emotions or avoiding life's difficulties. Instead, it was about cultivating an indomitable spirit, a mindset that allows you to navigate the storms of life with grace and equanimity. The key to achieving inner peace lies in the practices they developed, which remain relevant today. Let's dive into one of the most potent tools the Stoics wielded, the power of mindfulness. Mindfulness is the practice of being fully present in the moment, acknowledging your thoughts and feelings without judgment. For the Stoics, mindfulness was not just a modern buzzword, it was a way of life. By practicing mindfulness, you can observe your emotions as if from a distance, recognizing that while emotions can be powerful, they are not always reflective of reality. Take Marcus Aurelius, for instance. In his meditations, he often reflected on the transient nature of life and the importance of focusing on what is within his control. He wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." By honing your focus on your thoughts, you empower yourself to respond rather than react, enabling a profound sense of peace amidst external turbulence. Another essential aspect of Stoic philosophy is understanding the concept of amor fati, the love of fate. This means accepting everything that happens, even the difficult moments, as necessary and beneficial for your growth. For example, when faced with failure or loss, rather than wallowing in regret, a Stoic practitioner would reflect on the situation and ask, "What can I learn from this?" This shift in perspective fosters resilience and inner peace, turning obstacles into opportunities for growth. Consider the story of Thomas Edison. After countless failed attempts to create a viable electric light bulb, he famously said, "I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work." Edison's amor fati allowed him to view every setback as a stepping stone rather than a stumbling block. This attitude is echoed in the teachings of Epictetus, who said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." Incorporating these Stoic principles into your own life can lead to a profound transformation. Start each day with a moment of reflection, setting your mind on the challenges you may face and preparing to meet them with grace. When faced with adversity, remind yourself to ask, "What is in my control, and how can I learn from this?" This practice of mental preparation can build resilience and bring a deeper sense of peace, both in daily life and in tumultuous situations. As we embrace the Stoic path to inner peace, we also confront a critical truth: peace is not found in the absence of chaos, but in the mastery of how we engage with it. This mastery is what the Stoics sought, and by embodying their teachings, we can discover a reservoir of tranquility within ourselves. The journey to inner peace, while deeply personal, is also a collective effort. It's about sharing these insights and supporting one another in cultivating a more tranquil existence. Thus, the Stoics offer us a timeless roadmap to navigate life's complexities, one that emphasizes resilience, acceptance, and the pursuit of inner peace. What might these teachings reveal about your own potential for calming chaos? As we move forward, consider how you will integrate these Stoic principles into your daily life, and how doing so can reshape not just your own experience, but the lives of those around you as well. In a time when relationships can often feel complicated and overwhelming, the ancient wisdom of Stoic philosophy offers invaluable insights. Modern relationships face numerous challenges, from communication issues and misunderstandings to unmet expectations and emotional turmoil. So, how can Stoicism help us navigate these turbulent waters? At its core, Stoicism teaches us to focus on what is within our control, especially in our interactions with others. Instead of trying to change the people around us, we can learn to adjust our own thoughts and reactions, creating a more harmonious environment. This perspective is crucial in sustaining healthy relationships, whether they are romantic, familial, or platonic. Let's consider the teachings of Seneca, one of the most famous Stoic philosophers. He believed that we must treat our relationships with care and mindfulness, advising to always act with virtue and integrity. In the context of modern relationships, this means being honest, empathetic, and respectful towards one another. For example, during conflicts, applying Seneca's principles can help us respond thoughtfully and avoid hasty reactions that could damage our connections. Moreover, the Stoics emphasize the importance of forgiveness. All relationships will inevitably face challenges, and harboring resentment can lead to emotional suffering. Marcus Aurelius highlighted this idea when he reflected on the necessity of forgiving others as a means of freeing ourselves from anger. Instead of holding on to grudges, we can choose to let go, understanding that our peace of mind takes precedence over being right. This choice paves the way for healthier interactions. One insightful story involves the friendship between Marcus Aurelius and his mentor, Rusticus. Rusticus had a profound impact on Marcus, encouraging him to embrace Stoic principles. However, their friendship was not without its struggles. When disagreement arose, Marcus sought to understand Rusticus's perspective rather than simply asserting his own views. This willingness to listen and empathize allowed them to strengthen their bond. In modern terms, this means valuing active listening and open communication. By approaching conversations with the intent to understand rather than to win an argument, we can foster deeper connections. This is especially important in romantic relationships, where miscommunication can often lead to unnecessary conflict. For instance, when discussing sensitive topics, instead of reacting defensively, we might ask questions to delve deeper into our partner's feelings, thereby showing genuine interest and care. Additionally, the Stoic concept of sympathia, a sense of interconnectedness, reminds us that our actions affect not just ourselves but those around us. This understanding promotes compassion and a collective sense of responsibility in relationships. When we acknowledge our shared humanity, it becomes easier to extend grace and kindness to others, creating a supportive network that empowers us all. Ultimately, the Stoic approach to relationships calls us to recognize that our happiness and fulfillment are not solely dependent on others but also on how we choose to engage with them. By cultivating qualities like patience, understanding, and forgiveness, we can not only enhance our relationships but also find personal growth through them. As we reflect on the wisdom of the Stoics, consider, how can you apply these teachings to your own relationships? Are there areas where you could practice more patience, understanding, or forgiveness? The journey toward healthier relationships begins with our commitment to applying these timeless principles in our interactions with others. By embracing Stoic philosophy, we can transform our relationships from mere connections into sources of growth, love, and support. Gratitude is a powerful emotion that can profoundly affect our overall well-being. Research indicates that individuals who regularly practice gratitude report higher levels of happiness and satisfaction in life. But how can the ancient Stoics, with their focus on rationality and virtue, contribute to our understanding of gratitude? At first glance, it may seem that Stoicism and gratitude could be at odds. After all, Stoics prioritize acceptance of fate and are often viewed as emotionally restrained. However, deep within Stoic teachings lies a rich framework for cultivating gratitude that can enhance our emotional resilience and satisfaction in daily life. One of the most profound aspects of Stoic philosophy is its emphasis on recognizing the impermanence of life. By understanding that everything we have could be lost, we are encouraged to appreciate what we currently possess. Marcus Aurelius, in his Meditations, often reflected on the simple joys of life, nature, the warmth of friendships, and the fleeting beauty of the world around him. This practice of mindful appreciation can foster a deep sense of gratitude. Take, for instance, the daily gratitude practice known as the evening reflection. At the end of each day, Stoics would reflect on what went well, focusing on the people they encountered and the moments they cherished. This practice not only reinforces positive experiences but also cultivates a habit of gratitude. By consciously recognizing the goodness in our lives, we begin to shift our focus away from negative thoughts and toward appreciation. Furthermore, the Stoic exercise of negative visualization can enhance our gratitude. This technique involves imagining the loss of something or someone we cherish. While it may sound counterintuitive, contemplating the absence of loved ones or the things we value can deepen our appreciation for them. Seneca famously stated, "A great mind is one that can see a great future without being blinded by their present." By employing this Stoic technique, we recognize the value of our current blessings. One compelling example of this practice in action is found in the story of Viktor Frankl. Frankl, a Holocaust survivor and psychiatrist, endured unimaginable suffering. Even in the darkest moments, he found reasons for gratitude, be it the beauty of a sunset or the love of his wife. His perspective transformed his experience, allowing him to maintain hope amidst despair. Frankl's story illustrates how the principles of Stoicism can empower us to cultivate gratitude even in adversity. As we apply these Stoic practices to our own lives, we begin to view gratitude not as a mere reaction but as a deliberate choice. By actively recognizing and appreciating the small joys, we enhance our emotional resilience and build a foundation for a fulfilling life. Consider incorporating the evening reflection into your routine. At the end of each day, jot down 3 things for which you are grateful. Over time, this simple practice can lead to a profound shift in your mindset. Lastly, the Stoic understanding of community reminds us that gratitude should also extend to others. Expressing gratitude strengthens our bonds and fosters a sense of connection. When we acknowledge the role that others play in our lives, we create a ripple effect of positivity. As Aristotle said, "What is a friend? A single soul dwelling in 2 bodies." By nurturing relationships through gratitude, we not only enrich our own lives but also contribute to the well-being of those around us. Gratitude, when rooted in Stoic teachings, becomes a practice of awareness and intentionality. It's about recognizing the beauty in the present moment and appreciating the people and experiences that shape our lives. As we embrace these Stoic principles, we may find that gratitude transforms not only our perspective but our overall experience of life itself. So, how will you incorporate gratitude into your daily routine? The journey of cultivating gratitude through Stoicism is not just about acknowledgement, it's about fostering a deeper, more meaningful connection with ourselves and others. The journey of Stoic philosophy begins with its ancient masters, who laid down the foundational principles that continue to influence modern thought today. Imagine walking the bustling streets of ancient Athens. This is where philosophers like Zeno of Citium, Epictetus, and Marcus Aurelius roamed. Their teachings were not only about understanding life but about mastering it. Zeno, the founder of Stoicism, taught that virtue is the highest good, a concept echoed throughout the ages. His principles provided a framework for facing life's challenges with dignity and grace. Epictetus, born a slave, transformed his life through the tenets of Stoicism. He famously stated, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." His ideas of control and acceptance resonate deeply in today's fast-paced world. Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher king, embodied Stoicism. His meditations, written during turbulent times, provided a manual for self-improvement and resilience. He emphasized the importance of focusing on what we can control and accepting what we cannot. This lesson is crucial for modern individuals overwhelmed by societal pressures and expectations. These ancient Stoics faced challenges similar to ours: political strife, personal loss, and existential crises. Their teachings serve as timeless reminders that our responses to external events shape our inner peace. As we delve deeper into their teachings, we uncover practical applications that can enhance our daily lives today, including the development of emotional resilience and the importance of community and virtue. Consider how these principles resonate amidst the chaos of modern living, where stress, anxiety, and uncertainty can dominate our thoughts. Their teachings are not mere historical artifacts, they offer profound insights that, when applied, can radically transform our approach to challenges. By understanding the Stoic legacy, we prepare ourselves to delve into the practical applications of their philosophy, equipping ourselves with tools that can lead to a more meaningful existence. As we move forward, we will explore how to cultivate resilience in the face of adversity through the lens of Stoic thought. Stoicism is more than just a philosophy, it's a way of life that can lead to profound transformations. To understand this, let's explore the real-life stories of individuals who've embraced Stoic principles in the modern world. One remarkable example is Ryan Holiday, a contemporary author who has popularized Stoic philosophy through his best-selling books. Holiday's journey began when he faced numerous failures in his career. Instead of succumbing to despair, he turned to Stoicism, finding comfort in the teachings of Marcus Aurelius and Seneca. In his younger days, Holiday realized that he needed to change his perspective on failure. He adopted the Stoic idea that obstacles are opportunities for growth. This shift in mindset led him to produce work that resonated with millions, establishing him as a thought leader in modern Stoicism. Another inspiring story is that of Admiral James Stockdale. During the Vietnam War, Stockdale was a prisoner of war for over 7 years. Despite the brutal conditions, he relied on the principles of Stoicism to endure the suffering. He famously stated, "I never lost faith in the end of the story." His ability to separate what he could control from what he could not directly stems from Stoic teachings, illustrating the philosophy's profound impact even in dire situations. These stories remind us that Stoicism is not simply a theoretical construct but a practical guide to navigating life's trials. It teaches us that resilience is cultivated by our responses to challenges, not the challenges themselves. As we reflect on these transformations, consider how Stoicism can apply to your life. What obstacles are you facing that could become catalysts for growth? These real-life applications of Stoicism serve as powerful reminders that we can harness this ancient wisdom to reshape our narratives, fostering not just acceptance but active engagement with the world around us. As we explore further, we will discuss how Stoicism can empower us to cultivate a sense of purpose, manage our emotions effectively, and build a life aligned with our core values. The beauty of Stoic philosophy lies in its practicality. It's about integrating its principles into our daily lives to foster a greater sense of calm, purpose, and resilience. A powerful starting point is the morning routine. Imagine waking up and, before diving into emails or social media, spending just 10 minutes reflecting on your day ahead. This practice, known as premeditatio malorum, or the premeditation of evils, involves contemplating potential challenges you might face. By envisioning these obstacles, you prepare yourself mentally to deal with them. For instance, consider the story of a teacher who faced an unruly classroom. By applying the Stoic practice of forethought, he anticipated disruptions and devised strategies to maintain control. This proactive approach transformed his teaching experience and improved his relationship with his students. As the day unfolds, practicing mindfulness can further enhance our Stoic journey. Taking mindful breaks throughout the day allows us to center ourselves amidst the chaos. Mindfulness aligns beautifully with the Stoic principle of living in accordance with nature, where we acknowledge our emotions but choose our reactions wisely. Embracing techniques like deep breathing exercises or short meditative moments can help ground us. Another vital practice is journaling, a technique recommended by many Stoics. Writing daily reflections serves as a mirror to our thoughts and actions. It provides an opportunity to evaluate our responses, celebrate our victories, and learn from our failures. Marcus Aurelius famously kept a journal that captures his thoughts on virtue, duty, and humanity, a timeless reminder to hold ourselves accountable. Lastly, as we plan our evenings, a reflection on the day can help us recognize our growth areas. What went well? What could have been better? This process of self-inquiry is essential for continuous improvement, echoing the Stoic belief in self-awareness and accountability. By weaving these Stoic practices into our daily routines, we unlock the potential for a more intentional and fulfilling life. As we conclude this exploration, consider how you can incorporate these practices into your life. What small changes can you make today to align yourself more closely with the principles of Stoic philosophy? In a world overflowing with choices, how do we make decisions that align with our true values? The Stoics provide a profound framework for navigating the complexities of modern decision-making. At the heart of this approach is a focus on what is within our control. This principle can transform how we approach choices, from daily tasks to life-altering career moves. Imagine you're standing at a crossroads, two job offers, both tempting yet fraught with uncertainty. The Stoics would encourage you to examine your values, your passions, and the virtues that matter most to you. This self-reflection helps clarify which option is more aligned with your authentic self. The concept of amor fati or love of fate, coined by the Stoic philosopher Friedrich Nietzsche, reminds us to embrace every moment and every choice, regardless of its outcome. This isn't about passively accepting what comes our way, it's about actively engaging in our decisions, fully aware that we can only control our responses, not the external circumstances. Moreover, Stoic decision-making emphasizes the importance of rationality. Think of Marcus Aurelius, who often wrote in his meditations about weighing options carefully. He believed that making decisions should be rooted in reason rather than emotion. This practice requires stepping back from our immediate reactions and considering the bigger picture. How does this decision align with your greater life goals? One practical technique derived from Stoicism is the premeditatio malorum, the premeditation of evils. This involves imagining potential drawbacks and worst-case scenarios before making a choice. How might these challenges affect you? What strategies can you employ to navigate them? This prepares us mentally and emotionally, equipping us to face adversity should it arise. Real-life examples abound of individuals who have successfully integrated this Stoic approach. Take the story of a tech entrepreneur who faced numerous failures before achieving success. Instead of viewing setbacks as defeats, he embraced them as learning experiences, applying the lessons he gained to his future ventures. His ability to detach from negative outcomes and focus on growth perfectly illustrates the Stoic philosophy. As we explore further, we see how the Stoics viewed virtue as the highest good. This means that every decision should be grounded in virtue and ethics. In business, for instance, making choices that align with integrity might not always be the most profitable in the short term, but the long-term benefits, trust, reputation, and self-respect, outweigh any immediate gain. Ultimately, Stoicism teaches us that decision-making is both an art and a science. It requires clarity of mind, alignment with our values, and a willingness to embrace uncertainty. By applying these principles, we can navigate the labyrinth of choices that life presents with confidence and poise. As we transition to our